Hello, welcome back. I'm Lori Williams, and today I want to talk to you about self-victimization. So there is a saying that even in choosing to do nothing is still a choice. So when something happens to you, and not allowing yourself to be stuck in being a victim doesn't change the fact that you're a victim. I mean, you're always going to be a victim of whatever that is, whether it's abuse, whether it's typically, I mean, the big traumas are usually around some sort of abuse, whether it be sexual, mental, emotional, verbal, whatever. And the truth of it is it doesn't change the fact that you're a victim, so for me, for an example, I was abused as a child, like sexually abused as a child. And that doesn't change the fact that I'm a victim of child abuse, of child sexual abuse. That does not, nothing I have done changes the fact of that. But I don't allow myself to stay in the victim mentality. And here's why. It's actually very self-empowering to not allow yourself to stay there. I mean, how amazing is it to be able to take something that was designed to, or in the other person may have wanted to break you down or to knock you down or to hurt you in some way, and to use that thing that was designed to keep you like down low and use it to help you catapult yourself into who you truly want to be, in alignment with who you truly are, and living the life that you want to live. I mean, what better way to empower yourself and take a really shitty situation that you had no control over? Because, I mean, typically, how often are we looking to be abused, right? Like, it's not something we ask for. It's something that happens to us. But you can take that thing, that abuse or whatever. I'm just going to use abuse for the sake of this video. And you can take that abuse and you can use it to empower you to move way beyond being a victim. I don't act like a victim. I don't talk like a victim. I don't go through my life like a victim. And I did. For a long time, I did. And that's why I feel like I can speak on this, because I've been on both sides of it. I've been in victim mentality, truthfully, because I didn't know how destructive that was for myself. Being in victim mentality is allowing yourself to consistently, it's almost like you're beating yourself up over and over and over again. And the thing is our mind, our memories, or not memories, our thoughts don't know the difference between something that's happening to us right now and something that happened to us in the past. So if you're consistently thinking of abuse that you went through 20 years ago, and you're consistently thinking of it, your brain acts as if it's still happening. This allows that cycle of victimization or self-victimization to continue, of keeping you in that victim mentality. And I'm going to tell you something, as someone who has been in victim mentality, absolutely nothing good comes from it. You cannot grow in victim mentality. Absolutely not. And it's actually quite simple to begin the steps of getting yourself out of it. I didn't say it's easy, it's simple. The process of it is actually quite simple. And it's to start looking at whatever it was that made you the victim, looking at it from a different perspective of, what can I learn from it? Why did I have to go through that? What was it that I can grow from, from that? And honestly, even if it's the fact that your biggest growth is the ability to take what happened to you and catapult yourself into a better version of yourself, into your higher version of yourself, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. The fact that you no longer are allowing the person or the thing that was meant to knock you down, keep you down, is beyond empowering. And the truth of it is, though, is unfortunately we stay in the victim mode. There's usually a lot of anger. There's usually a lot of hate. And until we start to heal those things, the victim mode, we're just going to be there. We're in victimization. We're still going to be there. It's going to take you deciding that this thing, what happened to me, is not going, it's taken enough of my life. It has taken enough time from my happiness. It has taken enough of my joy. It has taken enough of my view and my self-worth, and my opinions of myself and my self-worth. I choose to love myself enough to not let this come into my future for one more day. And that is a choice. But at the same time, like they say, choosing to do nothing is still a choice. Choosing to not get out of that victim mindset is still a choice that you're making every single day. Another thing that you can ask yourself in changing the perception of what it was that you went through is, rather than this happened to me, of this happened for me to use it for my highest good. And how can I use it for my highest good? I mean, if I look at some of the things that I've gone through in my life, honestly, most of them have taught me the kind of people I don't want to be around. It has taught me the kind of person I don't want to be, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable in my life as far as how people treat me and how people show up in my life. And honestly, like, I just made the choice to stop letting the decisions, the choices of other people affect who I am. Because do you think the person that has put you through whatever this trauma is, do you think that they're laying awake at night worrying about what's happened? Do you think that they're playing over and over in their mind of what they did to you? Absolutely not. Why are you letting them have that control over you? They're continuing to have that power over you. They're continuing to have that control over your present and your future. The more you drag your traumas with you from your past into your present and into your future, the more that person that has done that to you, you're allowing them on some level to still control your life. Enough is enough. Get angry if you need to. Get upset with, not with yourself, but get upset with the situation if you need to. But take that first step past where you are, especially if you're in self-victimization. That's absolutely no place to be. Like I said, nothing comes from there. Absolutely nothing good is going to come from there. And the truth of it is us as human beings, we don't do anything without some sort of a payoff. So if we're allowing ourselves to stay in victimization, what is it that we're gaining from? You know, like, it might be sympathy from other people. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry that you went through that. But the truth of it is although that might stroke the ego for a few minutes, it really does nothing to show us about ourselves. It doesn't do anything for us. The other person that is, sending sympathy our way, that shows what kind of a caring person that they are. But I mean, it's just us receiving that sympathy does nothing for us. Nothing productive anyway. It just feeds the ego. In my opinion, as somebody who's been there, done that, and is now on the other side through healing, you gain far more by empowering yourself and moving through the self-victimization and into the healing and into the letting go and the processing and all of the parts of healing. You gain so much more of yourself from that. And that person that did whatever they did to you, for whatever reason they did it, no longer has a place in your life, in your day-to-day, in your thoughts. I mean, it doesn't change that it's happened to you. Nothing that you're going to do is going to change what happened to you. Absolutely nothing. So why continue to, in your mind, replay it? And it's like I said, if your mind is believing that it's happening to you over and over and over again, it's re-victimizing you pretty much every single time you think about it. You're becoming a victim all over again. It's a horrible place to be, is in self-victimization. And I don't call this, and I'm not putting it out there that you're doing this to yourself necessarily. I mean, if you don't know any better, you don't know. But you have to acknowledge where you are. That at this point, even if you don't know how to get out of self-victimization, or that you weren't even aware that you were in self-victimization, you still need to acknowledge where you are and take responsibility for that. And not in a way where you're chastising yourself or you're putting yourself down, but in an empowering way of saying, hey, you know what? This is where I am. This is my starting point. This is where I'm going to meet myself, and then move forward from there. You can all use it for empowerment. It's not supposed to continue to drag you down. There's lessons in everything that we go through. Absolutely everything that we go through. You can let go of the experience, but keep the lessons, because after all, that is the important part. I don't know, I would never say that I'm grateful for the things that happened to me and for the traumas that I've gone through. But because some of them I did have a choice. I didn't realize, obviously, that the outcome would be what it was. But It was through my choices that I was traumatized in some cases, and I have to own that. That's been a huge part of my own healing, is forgiving myself too. So ultimately, in the times where I have been able to heal the traumas that I have been through, it's been worth it to not let those people that were trying to have power over me continue to have power over me. That's when it becomes empowering. That's when you give what someone else did to you a purpose. You give yourself meaning through that process. And it's pretty transformational if you let it be. All right, that is it for this video. If you have any questions, any comments, anything like that, or would like to go further with this discussion, please feel free to comment, or you can reach out to me through a private message. And that is it for today. I'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care. Bye for now.